How's that?
Let's do it.
All right. Well, I have just pushed live, so we've now gone live. So, Matthew, here we are today once again to do a little bit of ranting about sales-related stuff. We decided that our topic today was going to be some ways to generate some great sales leads. So
Yes.
I don't know what's going on in your world, but I tell you, my world is busy, and it's summertime here, even though it's only spring. It's warm, it's beautiful. I don't want to be doing a blab, so I open my windows. I hope it's not too noisy. And, let's get right into it. How are things down there on the Gold Coast of Australia?
Well, it's coming into winter, so it's warm, it's sunny, it's beautiful, and blue skies.
Yeah, well, I'll be there in May. No, I think just the beginning of June or the very end of May to join you for a week. So
okay, well, hopefully we can have 15 or 20 minutes of winter for you, because I'd hate for a Canadian to come over here and be disappointed by our winter.
Yeah, I know. I've been there where things are windy and rainy so bad that stuff just about blows off the patio of my hotel room. So you can keep your winter. I'll take our version.
We're totally unprepared for winter here. We don't have. I don't even have heaters in this house, so
I know.
But we don't need it anyway.
Yeah, right. Or heavy sweaters, or and what do you mean a jacket? What's a jacket? Is that like an English term?
Yeah, that's it. Very cool. All right, so I just had a look at the I had a look at the title, and there's 4 secret ways to generate great sales leads. But you know what? I don't know if there are any secrets these days. I think Bruce Lee said that don't fear the man who knows 10,000 kicks. Fear the man who's done one kick 10,000 times.
That's right.
So really, I don't know if there are any secrets when it comes to generating great leads. There are the newest, cleverest sales funnelly online things you can do, or you can actually build relationships and grow a business. So,
I think
that the old way is still the right way.
So do I, but here's why I think we can still call them secrets, because the best place to hide something is in plain sight. So the fact that it is so out there and nobody's paying attention to it just leaves us the opportunity to get on here and talk about it and try to bring some of it to the forefront to help some people out who've been reading it and just not absorbing it.
Yeah, cool. Well, look, I've got 2 ideas because we said 4. So I've got 2 ways that I'm generating leads currently. And I've left networking up to you, because you seem to be the master of the network. So do you want to kick off and talk about how you're actually generating your leads?
Yeah, I mean, we'll start with sort of business networking events, and I wrote a blog post on how to network like a god, or whatever you want to call it. And it's really not that complicated. It's way less complicated than people make it. And I just saw a really neat article the other day about how the higher up in an organization somebody is, the less likely they feel that going to a networking event is kind of a dirty thing, or trying to generate business through networking events is a dirty thing. So, it really is the new people that aren't comfortable with it that feel like it's a dirty thing and they're doing something wrong. And it's because most of them do it wrong. The idea at a networking event is to make friends. Oh my God, build relationships. Sounds hard. And you don't just go and vomit all over people. You make relationships. You are obviously looking to steer the conversation in a way to see if they might be a potential client. And then, what I do is I then break down into a couple of categories of what is this person? You know what? This is just a personal relationship. Maybe he can refer me someone later. Maybe we're just going to be really, really good golf buddies, but I don't know. So I'll actually put them into an automated follow-up series for personal contact so that I'm still interacting with them. But I haven't actually sort of gone to the point of figuring out where they might fit into my business or where I might fit into theirs. Then I go after sort of a couple of categories in with my business. Well, they might be interested in a free trial. They might be interested in becoming a reseller. They might be interested in becoming a consultant. And all of this is done in a carefully crafted conversation. Oops, did I say that? I mean, a perfectly natural, never thought about before, happens off my cuff conversation. No. You go into a networking function armed with your conversation that you've practiced and rehearsed. You've seen how people react to things in their face when you talk to them, right? You say it, you see it in their eyes, and you hone that and you hone that. And you get to the point where you're a broken record, because broken records work. And then you can get better. This is the practicing the kick 10,000 times instead of a new kick every time, right? So that's what I do,
really
and then
cool.
I just form the conversation.
I really quote. Sorry,
that's all right. Go ahead.
So Mark Twain read a quote the other day. He said it takes him 3 months to prepare for an impromptu speech. So it's about having that capacity to know what you're going to say and know what turns people on, turns people's dials.
Totally agree. And I've worked through a million iterations. So if you want to network like a boss, you do it by going to 4 or 5 events a week. Yes, I said that, not 4 or 5 a year, not 4 or 5 a month. Go to 4 or 5 a week, and within 3 weeks, you will have honed your skills. You will have sucked in front of a whole bunch of people. And then the neat part is everyone gets all nervous. Oh yeah, but what if I see the guy again and he knows that I suck? Guess what I found happened? They overhear you at another event and they'll literally come up to you and say, Matthew, damn, you have gotten so much better than the first day I met you. So like, don't worry about it. Everyone's in there the same game. We're all trying to improve our skills. We're all trying to squeak out a living. We're all trying to enjoy the surf, the sun, and whatever. So like, I just don't, you just somehow we got to get people to stop sweating the details. If you're out there generating prospects and leads, stop sweating the details. Go with the idea that you could maybe help some people. So go with the idea that maybe at the networking event, I can point some people to some resources that have helped me, or I can introduce them to someone else I know that might make a good relationship, or, maybe I can introduce them to a free trial of a couple of tools that I've found. Go there with the idea of, I'm going to go to this networking event and I'm going to help a few people with problems in their business. If that turns into a sale, great. Don't be selfish and only try to help people with problems your product sells. Just help people. Right? Oh gosh, someone's struggling with taking a picture with their cell phone. Hey, something I can help you with, right? So I love networking events for that reason. It's incredibly fast to rapidly iterate. The business prospects are all there. You're not going to get a business prospect to the close the first time you meet them at a networking event. So stop trying and you'll have way more fun.
Well, that's right. You need to build a relationship and have that conversation. They need to see you a couple of times to build trust. You show up to a networking event once and go, well, that didn't work. Well, that's oh no, I don't like networking. I went to this one time and did this one thing, and I got nothing out of it. Okay, cool. Well, that's excellent. That's good to hear that. Building a relationship inside a networking event and go to 4 or 5, practice, and there's always going to be ways you can improve, and just if you do fail, then of course there's lots of ways you can reframe that. You can have your identity and your role separated. So you go, well, they're not rejecting me, they're rejecting my role, so you can still be okay. So many times people attach their role and identity together and they find themselves, I don't know if you know anybody, but I certainly know people. My grandfather, for one, finished his, retired, was a fit, healthy guy, but retired and died 5 years later because he'd actually attached his role as business owner and mayor of a town to his identity, retired from that and passed away. And it happens a lot. People lose their job. They throw themselves out of a window. They're not bad people. So often, when you go into these when I go into these networking events, I say, right, well, who am I today? How do I represent myself and be okay? And if you just take an attitude of service, I've had some clients with, earth-shaking reputations and huge client lists. And I've sort of worked myself up a little bit, going, oh, geez, well, how am I going to sell this person? Take a moment and go, hang on. If I go in with an attitude of service, I'm going to ask better questions. I'm going to understand their business and their pains and their issues better than if I'd gone in there trying to sell something. Then I ask them what the result they would like out of the meeting to be. They tell me, and guess what I deliver in my proposal? I deliver what they've told me they want it delivered. Amazingly enough, I get the business.
Yeah, and
it's actually taking that attitude of service, and that's a really good point there, Dennis. Is showing up to a networking event expecting to sell some stuff.
Yeah,
is the wrong way to go.
Well, and it's funny because I went to a networking event just last night, and it's put on by one of the larger cell phone providers over here, mobile providers in your lingo. And I went to one of their events, and it was a free event, and it was fantastic. Like, blew my mind, catered, wonderful event, and it was free. So I'm like, well, hang on. I saw another of their events come up, so I'm like, yeah, I'll go. I could eat, right? So, yep. And I went there with my bucket full of bunker rings, which, as you know, are these phone rings, right, as my little giveaway. And I actually went there because this mobile company called Rogers has just started this whole campaign to try to help small businesses. And of course, that's what we do. So we're all about help. So I went there hoping that maybe, because there was some speaker being flown in from Toronto, which, it's not that far away. It's halfway across Canada, but it takes 5 hours to get here by plane, if you can believe it. And so here's this guy getting flown in from Toronto to talk about what I talk about. So I'm like, hang on, I got to go meet some of these people. And maybe if I get lucky, I'll be able to steer the conversation to where I can be a bit of a public speaker and get flown around Canada, helping them out and getting my message out. So that was sort of the reason I went there. And then I was like, it's a really hot day yesterday, and I normally go to these things in a suit because I believe to always be dressed at the same or one higher than anyone you're meeting with. And I just didn't. I dialed it back to a polo shirt kind of thing and dress slacks. And when I got there, everyone was at my level or a step below. So I was like, whoa, thank God I didn't show up in a suit. I mean, I would have looked better than the speaker. That's not cool. But anyways, I pulled out my bunker rings and I started talking to this nice Russian lady who's, all looking at helping businesses, and she works for some business consulting and all this. And I gave her a bunker ring, and then I'm giving out bunker rings, and people are getting them, and they're actually sticking them on their phones. And then this other lady comes over and she says, you're going to be embarrassed for me when I show you what I have. And she holds up her phone and her hands through this strap thing that attached to her case. She says, I've wanted one of those forever. I said, well, I'll tell you what, you let me take a picture of you with that one, and then we're going to put mine on yours, and we're going to take another picture of you with the other one. And as long as you'll let me put that on Twitter and use it in my social media stuff, I'll give you one. Heck, I'll give you two. It turns out that she was flown in from Toronto. Her sole purpose is to find energetic people who know what they're talking about to join them in speaking across Canada.
Perfect.
All because I went there to give out some bunker rings, make some friends, eat some food, and I helped this Russian lady with some of her problems in front of this other lady who's overhearing it. And suddenly she got my bunker ring. So does all the other executive that were in from Toronto. So one guy walked away with 3. Apparently he had a wife and a girlfriend.
Yeah. Right.
So the point is, I didn't go there.
Let's hope they don't network.
Right. I didn't go there and who's the one in charge? Who's the one in charge? Source them out. I would have, if it wouldn't have developed naturally, make no mistake about it. I would have worked the room until I found who I need to talk to. But by just being me, going there, helping people, giving away my little gizmos in a polite and respectful way that didn't interrupt their event, stuff happened. That's how you network like a boss. Go there to help. Go there to serve.
And so are you going to be doing the speaking gigs?
Yeah, I've got the local guy wanting me. They do a bunch of local events that aren't as formal as yesterday's, and he wants me for that. And then the other lady, she's like, look, you got to take my number. You got to take my email. You have to follow up. We need people like you. So I've started that process, and I have no doubt that once I set my mind to it, it'll happen. So she may not know that. But I
don't doubt that at all. Very cool.
So yes, one way to make business prospects all the way around. And I guess we could link that right into what's another way to get business prospects. Become an expert and do some public speaking. Holy crap, do people pay attention when you do that?
Well, that was going to be one of the ways that I was going to talk about, but absolutely, do the public speaking. It's about attracting people to you. If you speak one-on-one, then you've got a chance of making one sale. You've got a one-on-one conversation. So you can, let's say maybe 1 in 50 people are qualified or could benefit from your product or service, and you speak one-on-one, that's 50 conversations. But if you actually are able to organize yourself to have a public conversation, speak 1 to 50, then you are immediately raised as the expert. You're put on a stage. People then believe and respect you because other people are believing and respecting you, and you'll get 2 or 3 people coming towards you. Even some might not qualify, but at least you might be able to have a conversation and say, oh, well, can you put me in touch with that person? Or who else do you think might benefit from something like this.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I've found with doing public speaking, it's crazy. Like you get mobbed at the end of it. I go up and I teach people how to increase their sales, and I give them like 10 or 20 things, rapid fire, really, really simple techniques anyone can do, whether they use my product or someone else's. And they mob you at the end of it. They're like, holy cow, man, I got so much out of this hour. And you, again, hide it in plain sight. It's on my blog. It's you can get on my newsletter to get it for free. You can go read my blog to get it for free. I'm just amalgamating an ebook where you can get it for free. You can hear me speak for free. You can pay to hear me speak, and I'll tell you the same stuff I said for free. So yeah, just hide it right there in plain sight. And it's no worries at all. People will not find it.
Well, that's right. And if you speak and people saying, oh, I've had clients say, oh, look, I don't want to give away all of my IP on my newsletters. Well, you know what? Give away what you think is going to be of most value, because people will then hire you to go deeper. And unless you're about as deep as a petri dish and you've only got one idea, you need to, and any expert or subject matter expert should have more than one idea. But give away and explain your best ideas. People will go, wow, this person's really cool. And being an expert in your industry or in your space allows you to go deeper and have a better conversation. People talk about sales and things like that with me, and that's great. When they actually ask me, how do I deal with this person? You know, I've been doing this 20-something years now. I can answer and give them the exact words to say in that situation to get the best possible result. And I'm very happy to give away my best stuff, because I do get people coming to me.
Yeah, well, exactly. Well, and again, prime example, I had another weird thing happen the other day, and this sort of plays to the social media. So another way to generate leads is social media. Okay, but it's a long haul. I actually wouldn't recommend, if you're just starting out or you're desperate for sales, that you go down the social media path. I think you'll probably go bankrupt before you get anything out of it, right? So social media is for that hour a week that you do for the next year to start seeing some results. And 10 hours a week for the next year is not going to change the results that much. So to me, social media is fantastic. And I followed this, and I've been doing little social media articles and blog posts, and hilarious story just happened to me. So I wrote I wrote a blog post about a carpet store. That was the one a friend of mine worked at and used my system to increase the sales and make things go crazy. Well, his brother owned that carpet store.
Oh, you've dropped out.
I dropped out?
No, you're back.
Okay. So his brother owned the carpet store. And so I was playing with the fact that I have this now on my Blogspot blog, and then I have it on my one on the website written slightly differently on smallbizdream.com. And then I actually went and just took the smallbizdream.com version and splashed it into LinkedIn Pulse. Just thinking, another opportunity for some eyeballs. I get a phone call about 10 minutes after. Dennis, that story sounds incredibly familiar. Was I that dumb? I said, I don't know. I said, you're not still using the tool. I said, are your sales still up? No. I said, so what are we going to do about it? He says, this is the carpet store owner that didn't believe it was my tool that did it, even because he has brother sibling stuff, right? My brother, right? Well, anyways, I just met with him, and now we're looking at 5 licenses, full consulting, all our help to set it all up and integrate it into his concept that he wants to do, and then his store. And it's all because a blog article that I wrote months ago, redistributed onto 3 different platforms, and now stuck on Pulse. And it was Pulse that found somebody who paid attention, and that could turn into probably $500 to $600 a month for however long, maybe. And that was from something that I wrote literally 6 months ago. So yeah, social media is a slow thing. So the key is do something that rather than nothing. Even if you only commit an hour a week and you write a 200-word article that sucks, do something. Get it up there, because eventually all those articles that suck, now you can go to an editor or a person on Fiverr that can take all your stuff that isn't very good and amalgamate it into stuff that is good. Because a year ago, you started making some stuff that sucked. The key is you got to get it out of you, even if you're not good at it. You'll get better, I promise. Get it out of you. Because once you have it out of you, then you can actually retain for fairly inexpensively some help to make it better. So social media slow burn works like crazy, but you might be 6 months to a year to see the return on it. Yeah, now that's a whole different topic though. If you're talking about social media advertising, now we're talking a way to generate prospects, leads, possibly even direct sales, depending on what you do. So maybe I'll let you talk a little bit about social media and advertising, unless it's better for me to, and then let's explore that as so paid advertising, paid Google, paid things to generate that initial traffic or that initial lead. Why don't we speak on that a little bit first?
Well, one of the things that I've found is actually really good that is helping my business is LinkedIn. And having a premium account in LinkedIn allows me to go ahead and search. For example, I've set up a search for people who are of a certain job title, certain company size, certain geographical size, and build a search around that. Found the 12,000 people that fit that criteria, and I'm just systematically going through and looking at their profile, thinking about their target, writing them a note saying, hey, I like your this, or I've seen that, or I've got some experience in this area. We should link up, and I've been growing my LinkedIn, I guess, friend list. I think they're called friends in LinkedIn, but a friend list or followers or connections. That's what it's called. So I've been building that, and I've been getting a couple of leads a week. I got one from this morning saying a person came back to me and requested my connection. I said, thanks very much. I noticed you do this. What motivated you to actually reach out? And he said, well, maybe you could do some speaking engagements. I'm like, oh, okay.
Very good.
So that would be fantastic. I'd love to work with them because they actually are a reasonably large business. So there is, as long as your LinkedIn profile is following a certain rule set, and the rule set is make it about the customer. I know that's a surprise again. I've done this, I've done that, I'm a legend. Who gives a crap?
That's right.
But
Next.
the problem you solve, in business, this is the problem. So it's normal advertising. Problem, solution, problem, solution. The problem is most salespeople are talking about their products, services, and features and benefits.
Yeah.
Solution, ask better questions to be able to ask the right question to the right customer at the right time to have the customer realize they actually need what you got.
Absolutely.
So have a look at my LinkedIn profile. Go find me, Matthew Wyatt, on LinkedIn. Have a look at what I'm doing. Have a look at in my title it says what I do. I work with salespeople and sales managers to crush the sales goals. So somebody sees that and goes, that's somebody I want to talk to, and then they go in and read my profile, and I talk about the problem with the current marketplace. The solution is to ask better questions, and then ask for a connection. Go to my website. So I found LinkedIn to be quite good, and Pulse to the tracking in Pulse is quite good. But yeah, it is a slow burn. I've been doing that for a little while now. One good thing about LinkedIn, which is really powerful, I don't know if it's available in the free version, but I have the paid for version, is you can actually export your connection list into an Excel spreadsheet.
Right.
So you can actually go ahead and export them. So I now have more than 1,000 people who are my connections in LinkedIn. I can go in, hit download their name, job title, and email address, and I've got the ability to email them.
Yeah, I don't think that's in the free version, and that's cool. So yeah, because so that is considered implied consent to email, I guess, because they friended you back.
If you don't want to do that, I know that Australia and Canada have similar spam laws. So if you think, well, I don't want to, get into any trouble, you can send them a message through LinkedIn.
Yeah, to me, what I've always tried to do is I've tried to get my LinkedIn connections to join me on my mailing list outside of LinkedIn, or I use our tool to do timed messages to them. So I'm still sending them messages, but they're semi-automated. So it just tells me what I was planning to say to them. I add a sentence to the front of it to make it very friendly, and then I send it off to them. So I use our system to track what I should say next to try to get the conversation going. And then, of course, once the conversation takes off, well, then that's what you were looking for in the first place. Then you can bring them in with full details and set up phone calls and whatever. So that's interesting.
Hey, my computer just told me I'm running low on battery. So I was out and about yesterday with my laptop, and I obviously haven't plugged it in yet. So so that's not bad. I've been on the computer now for about 2 hours and I haven't needed to plug it in. Then I've been using this video Skype. So just give me 2 seconds. I need to plug my computer in. So I'm just going to kick it over to you for a sec.
No problem at all. So while Matthew does that, let's talk just a little bit further. I'll give a little more information on what I like about social media, and that's that advertising on social media done right is incredibly cheap. And it's cheap because you can focus so significantly. Oh, back already.
Plugged in.
All right.
It's only over there. So, I mean, it's got to go just plug it in.
Done. So I was taking them from the LinkedIn concept to the advertising concept that's available through LinkedIn, through Facebook, through Twitter, and the fact that you can so micro focus. I mean, you can literally go into Facebook and say, or even in LinkedIn, you can go in and say, I want to only have this advertisement show to everybody who lists dishwasher as one of their skill sets. If you're on the premium version, well, actually even on the non-premium, when you place an ad, you can also say, I only want to advertise to people that are at this job title or above. So you can really, really zero in on interests and titles and whatever. And then you can further screw that down to geography. So you can say only in Australia, only within 100 miles of my house. And you can do similar things like that through all the platforms now. So it's incredibly inexpensive to go and find who you think your customers are and get in their face. And then from there, if you really want to ramp it up, you learn how to do remarketing campaigns. And that means now a cookie gets dropped at any time they come back to any of your properties. You know, it's like that magic thing. Yesterday, you were looking for a new printer. So how is it that yesterday you were on the local office supply stores company's website looking for a new printer, and now today every social media platform you touch that has ads is pushing you a printer?
Yep.
Isn't that a little spooky? That's remarketing. And once you get into the remarketing, because you've managed to generate enough traffic, this is when we get to that feedback loop starting to take place. We've now got enough blog entries, we've got enough stuff, we've got enough properties that people are dropping onto, that now we can remarket to them, because obviously they're touching all our properties because they're interested in what we do. So the remarketing becomes even cheaper to go after, and it's probably the best kept secret. Remarketing campaigns.
One of the things, I was talking to a client the other day, he's got a reasonably large client list and gets probably 60 or 70 new contacts a week because he's a subscriber to a certain platform. And I said, well, you can take your current email list, stick that in Facebook, and then keep adding to that and just show adverts, like specifically show those people with that email address your ad. And it's like, wow, I didn't even know that. So, I mean, we know, you and I know that, and so it's not a secret to us. But for this particular client, he's got a couple hundred people on his list, and he just wants to sell to them because it's a really niche product what he has. But you know what? He can go ahead and put all of those people into Facebook. Then the other cool thing is Facebook knows a lot about you.
That's right.
If you put those couple hundred emails into Facebook and then ask for a lookalike group, and it's called a lookalike group, so you can actually create a group of people that look like your list, the same interests, same geography, same all those things. Then your list might go from, your capacity to reach out might go from 200 to 10,000. Now you can go ahead and just show that advert specific to those types of people, and you only pay for the clicks or impressions, and you're only going to actually show it to people who qualify. Straight up.
So now, if you want to know,
if that's a secret, but
I think
so many people don't know that.
Again, a secret can be anything that the people watching us today who find this on the podcast or find this on the website or wherever they find it, if they go, wow, then it was a secret to them. Right.
Cool.
So another little secret that I learned, and I have to look up the fella's name and give him kudos because he did do a really good job of his talk yesterday. And his name was Robert Burko of EliteDigitalAgency.com. And he basically opened my eyes to something most people don't realize, but there is actually, if you can believe it, okay, this is a secret. Everyone, come closer, come closer. Google has a way that they will give you free advertising.
Stop it. Tell me about that.
Yeah. Well, you heard of that other little company that Google bought years ago and everyone said they were crazy? Why did they pay $1 billion for that? What was that? I don't know, some video thing. What was that? Oh, yeah, right, YouTube. Right, yeah, because they'd never be able to monetize it. Right. Okay, so what happens with YouTube now is you can actually, we've all done it, right? You go play YouTube and you get these ads. And after 6 seconds, you can skip the ad. You've seen that, right? Well, the way that works is if you're smart, you write your video, make your video so that everything you need to say to generate interest happens in the first 6 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you show them that 6 seconds and they say skip this ad, you don't pay for it.
Right. Oh, you're gone. He's given away too many secrets and he's actually just logged off. Maybe he got too excited and knocked his... Although I can still see that you're online there, Dennis. So this is interesting. I don't know what's going on there. So I will. I'll pick up that train as well. With another way that you can actually get Google to work for you is to ask your existing customers to do a Google review. And so when you Google something, those reviews do come up. And of course, the more reviews that you have, the higher in the search will actually be positioned, because Google's job is to find relevant, interesting things for the searcher. Welcome back.
Yeah, I don't know. I just suddenly, my browser said, snap, you're gone. Fix it. So I fixed it.
Maybe it was, are you using Chrome and they don't want to give that away?
Well, that's what I'm wondering. I mean, they're like, whoa, wait a second. This dude's on a public airing thing telling us about free stuff we do. We got to kill him.
Yeah, that's it. We need another 90 billion this year. So stop it.
So I tested, just for the heck of it, a little tiny video. And I'm going to just run and log in because I didn't check the stats in the last few minutes. So because we're talking about it, I'm going to actually go in and tell you exactly what happened when I tried this, because I already had a bunch of 20-second videos made. Now they're not perfect. Right. They don't do the best part in the first 6 minutes, but a lot of them are okay. So I tried one just for the heck of it. And what came back was, 1 second. Come on, Google. Don't let me down now. All right.
Well, while we're doing that, what I was talking about when you were blank is the Google reviews, and that's one of the most underutilized things you've got up there, is because when you Google a certain thing, the reviews and the maps comes up. And I was sitting with an SEO guy the other day who actually says, well, his position is don't pay for SEO, because you can actually get Google to do most of the job for you if you are providing quality, good content. And all those outsourced people who are doing SEO are having a bit of a lend of you, simply because, as Andy just saying, that was quite a mic drop. I think it was a mic and camera and basically laptop drop. So he's really dropping the knowledge. Like, I'm totally out. So yeah, you can actually get people to leave a review, and Google will rank that because it's relevant, interesting information to the person who's searching.
See, have you found
that stat?
Yeah, I did, but you and I are going to have a talk because I didn't even know about what you just told me, the Google reviews thing. So I'm like, what? Am I learning something again? Oh, yes, my God, another secret. It's a secret.
There you go.
You know, we got to stop. We got to call it off, man. We're 4:34. We're only 34 minutes in, and we've already gone over 4 secrets, and we don't want to break our promise. That's it. We're done. We're out.
That's right. Well, I guess the secret is somebody doesn't know about it. So there you go. I've got one secret. Keep going, Dennis.
Okay,
we'll get 4 out.
You know what? So I threw this thing up.
We'll hit something eventually.
That's right. So I threw this thing up, just a little thing that I already had. I tossed it in. It's probably not perfect. It could probably be optimized. And I said, I'm willing to pay up to 15 cents per view. Well, I got 46 impressions, which led to 12 people watching beyond the 6 seconds, which is really excellent. And for those 46 people, it cost me $1.22, or an average cost per view of 10 cents. So I was willing to pay 15 cents. They delivered me traffic for 10 cents each. And that was just a random The idea sounded good. I took a video I had, I tossed it up, I screwed it down really, really, really tight to restaurant owners and restaurant managers and bar owners and bar managers, and only in British Columbia. So I didn't go blow my brains out with a huge budget. I said I only want to spend $1 a day, and I threw it up there, and that's what I got in my first day. So wow. I mean, where can you get really targeted people to look at your stuff for 10 cents?
I hadn't thought of using Google, the advertising, to promote a business. So that's a secret. I think we can call that a secret.
Yeah, absolutely. Another one, I tell you, they're just all over the place. Look hard enough, you will find secrets laying on the ground in front of you.
There you go. 2 secrets from Google.
That's right.
There you go. Good technicians. Maybe you need to be better marketers so they can tell people about this.
Exactly. So just remember, on a 20-second video that tells your whole thing, put the most important bits in the first 6 seconds so that if they're interested, you might have even satisfied enough their curiosity for them to just go away and be permanently imprinted. And if not, you don't pay for it. So if you hit them with your best stuff and they go away, you got brand recognition at no cost. And the guys that do come through might turn into sales. So it's kind of a win-win, best of both worlds situation.
So you were saying you had 42 attempted plays and 12 people actually watched the whole damn thing.
Yeah, according to this, I got, well, yeah, it means that 12 people didn't opt out of it after 6 seconds. So yeah, I've got 12 people, and there was only
22 people that could have.
That's right. So now I have to
really hot
because I didn't actually hook up the tracking to see if they actually went and signed up what I was trying to get them to sign up to. So now that I've seen the front end work, I'll go connect it to the back end and we'll see what that generates in traffic. Now, before everyone gets crazy and says, oh yeah, that means 12 people would have signed up onto his mail list. No, I probably need to get 100 people to watch it to get one to sign up on my mail list. But in the meantime, if I'm doing remarketing, that guy's going to start to wonder how small business dreams in his face everywhere he goes. Because my cookies dropped the minute he looked at my video.
These guys are everywhere.
So that's the neat thing, right? You're actually, without realizing it, by getting into remarketing and getting Google to drop that cookie to track and them receiving it, you're actually building a list that you don't even know about. You're building random traffic on the internet that you can actually reach out to because they touched one of your properties that you have your tracking code on.
Very cool. It's really asking where you sign up for the good YouTube ads. So hang on just a second, Andy. I need to also write this down. Go.
Okay, so YouTube ads are actually all handled by Google AdWords. So I believe through the YouTube interface, there's a place where it says you want to advertise, and then that'll actually shortcut you through the process to get an actual Google AdWords situation set up. So once you've got a Google AdWords campaign set up, you set up a video campaign, you drop in your YouTube link, and away you go. So it's all part of Google AdWords now for advertising on YouTube.
Very cool. Okay.
Yep. It's a video ad. So you pick your ad as a video ad, and you can do in-stream. So in-stream is the one you're looking for. It's the one that puts your video on the front of somebody else's video. And the other one is literally just showing your whole video and nothing else. And it's usually more expensive.
Yeah. So the major telcos and insurance companies and people like that make you sit through 15 seconds or 30 seconds of their advert. And I actually purposely really switch off them. You know, if I'm going to watch I got skip ad and I might watch them, but the ones that force me, I actually, I don't know, maybe it's I don't like being forced to do anything personality.
But it's also possible that just what they're selling doesn't resonate with you. So it might not be a bad thing that you click off, right?
Yeah, no,
if you're not interested, go away.
And it's better for the advertiser, better for the viewer if they give me the opportunity. Hey, dog grooming. Nope, no dogs.
No dogs. We're a cat house here.
So that's cool, man. Okay, so one thing that I've been doing to generate leads recently, and this is me, and I've got and what I do is I teach sales strategy and do sales training and motivation for sales teams. Basically, if you need more sales, you come and talk to me. And more conversions is probably a more specific area. A lot of people in marketing say they do sales. Well, you know what? They might get the phone to ring, But what I actually do is I convert that incoming call or that outbound conversation into a sale. And that's the bit that I concern myself with. So what I've been doing with customers, what I've been doing with friends is calling them up and say, hey, I'm growing again. I need to find more people. So how about I come and do work with you for nothing, show you what I can do, or work with one of your clients, show you what I can do. And if you like it, then you can refer it. And 3 out of the 5 people that I've spoken to about that in the last couple of days have said, I don't need you to work for me for free. I know how good you are. What do you want me to say to my customers? I'm thinking, hang on, I've been doing this for 6 months. I've been out there, doing advertising and busting my hump and doing talks. I could have just asked. So there's
Did you just find another secret?
Ask.
Ask for the sale, or ask for the referral, or ask for the business.
Hey, I'm doing this. I'm looking to increase my client base by 3 or 4 new people. Do you know anybody? Or can I help you out? And if you like it, then we'll go forward. Give first. I try to give first every time. People are like, yep, this sounds really good. I want to help.
Yep. Yeah, it's just not that hard. All the things we're scared of, it's the old salesman dilemma, right? Wow, I put the proposal on his desk and it's 3 weeks now and I've left him 2 messages and 4 emails and he's not calling me back. He must have hate me. What did I say something wrong? Did I have bad breath? Did I forget to button my shirt properly? It's a total disaster failure. And then the bad guys give up. The good guys make the one more call, get him. And he's like, oh my God, I felt so guilty for not getting back to you. You know what? My wife ended up in the hospital and my dog ended up eating my child and my whole world exploded. And oh my God, I'm so sorry I didn't get back to you. Now we're behind. How do we make this happen faster?
Yep. I got a client who I got a client who I emailed the proposal within 24 hours of meeting them. He didn't get back to me. I called him, left him a message, no answer. Called him again, and he goes, "Oh, sorry, I'm interstate and I didn't get your email." He goes, "Actually, you know what? Our email filter, our spam filter, is so crazy. Did you send me a Word document?" I'm like, "Yeah, I sent you a Word document so you can edit it." Yeah, that'd be it, because we don't, unless you're a trusted source, you can't get through.
Right.
And I forgot to make it a source.
That's just IT gone wrong right there. I'm sorry, but that's IT gone.
They're part of a $80 million company, and they've got a crazy internet filter and stuff. But anyway, long story short, he goes, "Oh, I'm really interested." All I did was pick up the phone a couple more times.
Yeah.
So
and again, that's probably one of your biggest ways to generate sales leads is call your prospects often enough to turn them into leads.
Yep, absolutely. Secret, making contact. Because I've been teaching one client who has a specific product, and I've got them to put up on the wall that a telephone is communication and email is confirmation. So if you want to communicate with a customer, because I was in a workshop yesterday with another client, and they said that fully 50% of emails are misread in some way, because you can't get tonality across. People zombie read stuff, So, and I love that term, zombie reading, because you can just imagine if anybody watches The Walking Dead or any of those sort of shows, what is a zombie like? So you can just imagine you're scrolling through your email doing that. They're not taking anything in. Zombie. They're not taking anything in. Yeah, I deal with $100 million clients, and I have a zombie bobblehead on my desk. Yes,
nice.
But it's actually about being succinct, communicating, and going from there. So somebody's saying, "Oh, Matt, I'm going to use that tomorrow and cite you. Then in 2 weeks, I'll pretend that it was my own line."
Ted, that's sales right there. Ted Miller, this guy's a superstar. This guy's a rock star sales guy. He understands the whole world's about copying. You say who you got it from the first couple of times, and then it's yours.
That's it. You mean the telephone is for communication and emails for confirmation? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, got it. Cool. Sorry, and I made them write that up on the wall, because these sales guys, far out. These sales guys are like, send them an email, done my freaking job. stop it. So so that's a real challenge. So Andy's asking, when can he see this? There you go. And Dennis is going to put it on YouTube. Actually, we're building out a site, aren't we, Dennis?
Yes, we are under SalesRants.
Cool. We'll get that happening in the next. You know what? This is a platform for us to sort of promote our businesses and things like that. But really, and it's also a bit of payback. It's we've had a lot of great mentors throughout the years, and if we can help some people out there for nothing across Twitter, that's a good thing. So look, if you want to get more of that stuff, Andy, you know what? I'm going to make this offer to the lovely people out in Blabland. Is if you do email me, I'm going to answer you for free within 24 hours.
For free?
Ask the question.
You're going to actually answer. Like, you're going to take your time to answer a perfect stranger's question that may never be your customer?
Yep.
Oh, you Aussies are nuts.
My mentor, Bob, who I'm actually in business with now, did the same thing for me. He's spoken to crowds of up to 10,000 people, and his commitment is to get back to people within 24 hours for free. How many people do it? Not many.
Amazing. Not many. No, we leave it to our robots and our secretaries and our PAs.
So there's there's I think there's a lot of opportunity. Actually, you know what? Ted's calling in. Do you want to answer Ted's call?
Sure. Let's let Ted in and say hi. Here we go.
Ted said he likes what I said, so let's let him in.
Yeah, I'm trying. Why isn't it letting me? Hang on. Accept. There we go. Does that bring Ted in?
Yeah, I like what you said. It was a good line.
There's Ted.
Oh, thanks, Ted. I appreciate that. What do you do, Ted?
A similar thing. It looks like you guys are maybe in the software side of the business. I do business consulting, training, and coaching. But I was in Blab. I went to go
Dennis
host
is in the software side.
What's that?
Dennis is in the software side. I've gotten out of software. I was on both sides of the coin, being client and or supplier, and I found no fun in either of those sides. So I just do sales training now.
Oh, good. Awesome. Well, I love that. That's right up my alley. So I saw the word SalesRants. I typed in the search. They've changed their format a little bit. I haven't been in Blab recently, and they used to have it based on I used to be able to put in business and sales and only see business and sales conversations, and now but I did it. I found a search, I typed in business, and there were like 4 in there, and I saw SalesRants, and I'm like, I think the last guy I spoke to used a rant too. Grant Cardone, he talks about his rants. I was on his network, so I saw him on Blab, so I joined in and had a chat with him and Michael Hyatt. So, but anyhow, it's good to hear you guys. I jumped in and you started saying that. I'm like, boy, obviously great. You guys are really smart. You're already saying really intelligent things. So I'm glad that you're here on Blab, and I wish there were more people here to ask you a bunch of questions, but thanks for being here. It's I look forward over the next year or two, this becoming a little bit more of a popular platform, because I like this kind of dialogue, face to face, belly to belly, and kind of cut through the clutter of, posturing. I can tell you guys are legit. You're saying, hey, just email my answer in 24 hours. What I love about this platform is screw the email. Just ask me right now and solve the problem. So, givers like you're going to crush it here. No brainer. Yeah.
Very cool, Ted. Hey, Ted, do you want to plug your business?
On this rant, could you give me a little pitch? At the end of the day, you guys are here to add value, but could you kind of tell me a little bit about what you do, just so I have more insight?
Absolutely.
Okay,
in fact,
sure.
usually
Dennis,
the last 10 minutes, that's exactly what we do. So it's about perfect. So you go ahead, Matthew, go into your thing, and then I'll go, and then we'll let you tell us all about what you do.
All right. So I'm the CEO of a company called Velocity Selling. Velocity Selling is about empowering buyers to buy, and through a series of questioning and through a series of really uncovering buyers and clients' needs, we're able to shorten the sales cycle and make more money. I specifically work with high ticket items and complex sales. So consultants, IT firms, one in particular, a trucking company. They have about 56% market share of of a particular market here in Australia. So larger organizations, I have one client who is B2C, but I'm really serving them by providing them levels of motivation and accountability. So I work as an outsourced sales manager for some companies, motivation, keynote speaker, and generally, if you need to, you've got a certain number of leads coming in, you want to raise your conversions, then send me a message, give me a call. So the company's called Velocity Selling. It was founded by a Canadian, Bob Urachuk, and Bob has been voted in the top 10 people in sales, top 10 sales gurus since 2008. And now I'm running the business globally and also running a consultancy firm here in Australia. So that's what we do. We help people make more sales through asking the right question at the right time to the right people. And,
fantastic.
And technically, we've got the other side of the coin. Dennis, what do you do?
Perfect. And don't forget, you've got all your free videos and stuff that people can do in your 7-day trial that they can actually go in and get a bit of a flavor of what you're doing, which I think is important. Absolutely. So I've just stuck your URL up there for anybody who wants it.
Thank you.
And yeah, so once Matthew has got your systems and processes tuned up, then you shove everything over to Small Business Dream, where we actually just help you to collect and I guess collect, collate, and utilize your data to maximize your sales. So Small Business Dream is purely about maximizing sales. We're not interested in making sales managers happy. We're interested in making owners happy, and we're interested in making salespeople and floor people and anyone involved in the process happy. So basically collect your data, utilize your data specifically to increase your sales. So we do all the stuff we talked about to generate leads and prospects. Once you've got them, they turn into customers. We then teach people how to remarket to their customers and how to follow up with people more, so to make more sales, sell more to the people we already have. And it's just all about making more sales, because your average business, if you increase their sales 10%, they make like 25% more profits.
Yeah. And just to be really specific, it's not businesses who just think they're in sales. So you gave a great example last week of a restaurant chain. You said there was value attached to each new name and number and email address that these restaurant chains could get. Do you want to talk about that for a minute?
I worked it out based upon what kind of increase in business on a simple little tiny 25-seat restaurant. So a tiny, tiny restaurant. And it comes out to every piece of data that restaurant collects is worth an additional, okay? So from where they're at right now, never generating more data at all, just collecting the data to bring people back more often than they were coming, each piece of data is worth $26.65 more annual sales every year moving forward, because you took the time to collect their data. So what if it cost you $5 to collect their data?
Well, what if you just had like a business card drawer? I mean, so many businesses, walk past businesses, they give away, they gave away anything. Business card drawer. What are you going to do with that data then? So many businesses are probably just going, oh, that's nice to have. And now we got one happy client. What if you could actually make everybody who put their business card in that drawer was happy? And so you've got an amazing way of doing that. It's just the data that you have. Like, I've got a couple of different CRMs. I've also got a Small Business Dream. The data, I've got one business that I haven't done any outward marketing for 3 years and still make about $15,000, $20,000 a month of sales out of, because I've got a list.
Wow. Yep, got a list.
That list is
everything.
$100,000 to me in the last couple of years. Awesome.
And that's the key. Data is what makes the world go around.
Yep.
As we talked about, you can take your email list and drop it into Facebook. You got to generate that email list. Everything should be slowly convincing people to get on your newsletter. Your newsletter should always create value. The 80-20 rule, 20% of the time you're selling, 80% of the time you're giving value. Curate that list, maintain that list, make that list go, 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 go. Everything just gets better for any business that decides to go down that road.
That's it. Why do you think Facebook was valued? Why was Facebook valued at so many billions for so long without any revenue model? Why was Twitter, worth so much money before it actually had made any money? Well, you know what? Because it had a big friggin' list.
Data. Data, 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 data. And of course, now Facebook continues to zoom along because the level of detail that they have in their data is better than anyone else, right? So Facebook did it right. We got to where we're sharing everything. Heck, it even knows where we like to eat. And I mean, it's quite incredible at what it knows about us. So therefore, it's the most finite that you can get in targeting a specific audience to spend. You can spend $25 to see if your ad's going to work or not nowadays.
Have you seen that thing, Friends Nearby? Have you seen that on Facebook?
Yeah.
Like,
Creepy
open up
today.
Facebook, bring up, and then you go swipe this way, nearby friends, and you can go, actually, oh, look, my friend Nikki is 2 Ks away, and so is Michael, and so is Glenn, and so is Leo.
Yeah, and guess what? Today, just knowing that they're 2K away is on the cusp of creepy, right? It's like, okay, I don't know if I like them knowing that, but then pretty soon we're going to be able to just know exactly where they are, and it won't be creepy. So I mean, I guarantee you, in 20 years, all this stuff that right now we're scared of just becomes the norm. So yeah, no, it's
normal. An iPhone normally, if you've got friends and they've agreed to share their data with you, you can actually see where they are. So I go and click on here, say, "Where's Terry?" And she's at the shops.
Yep. Uh-oh. Call Visa.
Pardon?
Call Visa.
What was that?
Visa. If your wife's at the shops, you need to call Visa.
Oh, call Visa. Sorry. Living overseas for so long, having a visa is, my brain broke there for a second. Anyway, we're just about out of time. Hopefully people have got some value out of that. Ted, I'm reading your message here. I'm going to go ahead and message you on Twitter and then see if we can have an email conversation, because I'm not too sure what you mean, but I'm always open to opportunities. We'll do that. We'll just have a conversation.
Perfect. And
we'll
Matthew,
see where it leads.
Next week we're back here. Are we the same day? No, we're a day earlier. We're going to do Wednesday.
Let's stick to Friday. I've got nothing on Fridays until like the end of May.
Okay.
So
let's do that.
To lock this space in and make this a regular thing, because last time we did it regularly, we got a bit of a following. We started getting it. And if we keep it at a regular time, we're going to be able to continue to deliver and build a bit of a following and help people out. People can tune in.
Perfect. So Thursdays, 4 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, which is 9 a.m. on the east coast of Australia, I believe.
On Friday.
Yeah. So we do it 2 days a week all at once. We're good.
Fantastic, Dennis.
And so next week's going to be all about follow-up. So we're going to take this concept of how do you get more leads, and we're going to teach you a bunch of ideas about how you can follow up effectively with those leads and, start categorizing them and figuring out who's who in the zoo to follow up. So come join us next week. That's what we're going to talk about. Follow up. Follow up is key. Follow up is gold.
Very cool.
That's
I'll tell you how many times you need to follow up.
That's it. Exactly. Thanks, Matthew. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.